can send me the file.
Okay, got it. We're
Got
live.
it. There we go. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll start. We're going to talk today about getting a copyright and getting your book into Library of Congress. And I'll try to talk in layman's terms because we're all new to this, and there's some who are even newer and just joined Vela and want to know how to turn their stories into books. But to start with this, you want to get an ISBN. You have to purchase it through Bowker. And for those who don't know what an ISBN, it is the International Standard Book Number that's assigned to you. It's a unique code, 13-digit code that's assigned. Like, you can purchase them in batches of 1 to 1,000.
We buy them from where?
Bowker, Bowker, and it's at www.myidentifiers.com, or you can just search Bowker ISBN and it'll link you to their page.
Got it.
Okay, and this is good for authors in the United States only. I guess every country has their own system. And you want to go on their website and create an account. And then at that time, you can purchase the number of ISBNs you want to purchase.
How much are they?
One is $125, or a 10-pack is $295, which is what I splurged on this time, because for each format of your book, you have to have a unique ISBN. So I used 2 from this for Diarist, one for the paperback and one for the hardcover. It's not required for ebooks, so I'm not wasting my money on assigning an ISBN to the ebook. And
all right, so, oh, sorry. Apparently, I have been on mute.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could also note that if you have a book that you're going to put out in paperback and you're using Amazon or Drafted Digital, they will assign you an ISBN as well.
Right.
So if you're going through like pretty much a paperback publishing company, I think Igram Spark is also another one. They'll give you an ISBN for that particular book.
Right.
And I think you could also get different ISBNs depending on like whether you want to do separate hardcover and so on.
Right. But the drawback, the only drawback is it's only good on their platform, whereas the Bowker ISBNs cover Ingram Spark and Amazon and whichever other outlets you choose to publish your book on. And it's also recognized by the Library of Congress, which is why I chose to do it too. It is an investment, but I just chose that route for me. But you have to do what's best for you and what you can afford to do. But I've been using my Vela earnings to reinvest in my book, so it didn't really hurt me so much.
Right. Okay. So for $300, you can get a 10-pack. That'll do a few of your books.
Right. Because for me, that'll cover maybe like 4 or 5 books. So I'm good for a while.
Yeah. But that's not bad. But the 125 for one is hard to swallow.
Right. It is.
300 for 10. That is actually not bad.
It's like $29.50 per ISBN.
Yeah. You can afford that.
Yeah, when you break it down.
Kick out,
Right. I know. And then once you do purchase your ISBNs, then it'll always stay in your account. So there's no expiration date or deadline for you to use them or assign them to a book. And when you're ready to, then you just choose what format the ISBN's for, if it's paperback or hardcover, and it'll ask for a description of what the book's about.
And then you just maybe use your blurb?
I don't remember if I had to do that. I know I had to use the book title and the format, but I don't remember like if I had to put a blurb in that.
I actually don't think you do, because I did this recently for my books, and including Curse of Dawn. I do know that if you have books in a series, you do need to have a separate series attached to it, as well as the actual. But for the actual book itself, it will be a separate copyright request per book.
Okay.
It's just you have to make sure you include the series as part of each form as well.
Okay, I haven't gotten that far. So
Right, right.
I'm still doing one book in 2 different formats for now.
Yeah, yeah. And you're gonna go farther and be doing more than we are. I think what you're saying, Coda, is what you're saying. If you had a series, let's say with 3 books, you're going to need to burn 4 ISBNs because you need to burn 1 for the thing as a series.
I don't know. That I'm not sure of. I think you will just need the 3, but you need to note that for the copyright form itself, it will be part of the series. That's.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
I may have jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what I thought she was saying.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far. I'm still working on book 1. So
yes,
we'll have to revisit that in the future.
We're behind you. We're behind you. Here we go.
So anyway, once you need your ISBN purchased through Bowker to apply for the Library of Congress. So the next step, once you have your ISBN, then you can go to the Library of Congress and use it. And for those that don't know, the Library of Congress is the largest library in the world, and it has over 158 million items in Washington, D.C. And you may wonder, why is it necessary to register? And it serves as an additional layer of protection to for your work in the event of infringement. So it's just another copyright layer.
What's our website there, Lisa?
You know, it's very long and has nothing to do with Library of Congress. But
no, it doesn't. Okay.
It's like, yeah,
never mind.
It's the government. They have to make it complex.
We'll find it.
So
we'll find it.
Yeah, but just put, how do I apply for a Library of Congress number? And just kind of go through the motions. But I'll post these notes on when you post the video so everybody can see the website, and maybe they can click on it from there.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to do this, it is free. So there's no cost to you as the author, which is nice. It's like the only free thing.
There's still something.
I know. And when you do get to it, you also want to create an account with the Library of Congress. And you'll click, when you have your account set up, then you'll click on a request LCCN icon. And then you'll fill out all the information about your book. And that's where I think I had to do the blurb there, as well as just be descriptive as possible. Now, and then they say, like, once you hit submit, it does take it says it'll take 1 to 2 weeks, but mine came back within 5 days, including the weekend, which shocked me too.
Wow.
I know.
That's fast.
Yeah, so it was real quick, and I don't know how they decide who they want to accept and who they don't. I don't know if they automatically accept everybody if it's filled out properly, but I was excited to be accepted anyway. So
I will be too.
yeah.
I will be too.
Because aside from like an additional layer of copyright protection, I just felt when I looked at all the books, when I took the big authors and dissected their books, they all have Library of Congress numbers. So I want a reader to open my book and have it look as professional as possible with my ISBNs and my Library of Congress number and the copyright information. So that's why I chose to do it.
I think that's wise. It's wise because so much is getting ripped off
right
from people right and left.
I'll be adding that to my copyright page if I get it.
Yeah, and they'll give you the number. Yeah, so what, like in that 5 day, within the 5 days, they sent me like an acceptance letter, which lists the number I put in the book. So it's really easy and can be like really simple to do. So within a week, hopefully you'll have your number to put in your books. And then
now, where are you sticking them? Are they going inside and outside?
I just put it on the inside. I brought, let's see, I have one book, for example. This one was a Michael Crichton book, who's one of my favorite writers, but he has Library of Congress. I have a feeling he published it before he received the information because it says it's available upon request. So when he published it, maybe it took longer to get the numbers back. I don't know. So I just put it on my copyright page.
Okay, but it's not on the outside?
No, just in the inside copyright page is enough.
And the ISBN is not on the outside? That'll
be on the outside, but I also listed the ISBN on the copyright page as well. I've listed paperback and hardcover because those are the only 2 formats I'm printing right now. Hopefully
Perfect.
later I can add audiobook and then I'd update it in future republic, like when I
Is it the same ISBN for your audiobook? Do you
you have
know?
to use assign a new number to
Right, you have
that.
to burn one, but I mean,
Right.
it's the same
Mhm.
type. There's just one type
Right,
of
yes.
IS. Okay,
hmm
okay.
It's for literary works.
Now, see, I learned that being here. That's huge.
Right.
So,
Then once you do like get your letter, which I did, they ask that you send a copy of your book to the Library of Congress. So once it's published, they don't have a deadline, so I'm not rushing. I'm just gonna, once I get my book published, then I'll send them a copy and basically just wrap the email letter around the book and send it to them. So, and then they'll choose to put it in the library where somebody can walk off the street and go to the public library section and see it in there, or else I don't know what they do with it.
that'd be trippy, wouldn't it?
It'll be at a thrift shop somewhere in Washington.
No, this is good info. Okay. So then you just plug it in various places, like on Amazon when you're building your book. It says,
Right.
here's the blank for it. You just plug it in.
Right. So it's assigned, that's a unique number signed to your book. So, and then the last step to doing it would be to apply for a copyright. And I have not done that yet because they request you to send a book immediately and my book won't be ready for another month. And from what I've read is if you mess with them and don't do it, they can mess, like in the future when you request a copyright, they can kind of put it on the back burner or just ignore your request.
Okay, so you're holding off requesting
my
a copyright
Mhm.
until you get Dyrus in your hand.
Right. I do have, I went to the copyright for authors, their website. You could do another search for that as well. And I set up my account and I filled in all the blanks, but I have not submitted it. Theirs is a lot more, it's a lot, asking for a lot more information about your book. So you want to just take your time and go through all the feeds and fill out each part of it, each section.
Wow.
And there is a fee.
For authors.
I'm sorry, what?
I did the copyright for authors, and yeah, there is a $60 fee per form.
Yeah, so you will have to
$260.
pay for that too.
Wow.
This
But
is why
that's
I
worth it.
use my Amazon ISBN.
Yeah.
Shocking.
So for now, I've got my the copyright set up, but I'm not going to submit it until I get the book, and then I'll send it at that time. And I've read people send PDF files of their book, but I don't know if that's acceptable. I don't want to mess with them. I figure I'll just eat the cost of one book and send it to them and know I've done what I have to do.
Right,
So
right.
the form actually, before you, like whenever you submit it, and then they have the option to upload it.
Okay.
It is accessible to use like the PDF or ebook format.
Okay.
So
I
you
might
can
do that then. Mm-hmm.
Once it's live on whatever retailer you're using.
Okay. That might be worth it then. I haven't gotten to that point.
Very cool.
I'd rather send them a PDF than a hardcover.
So that's it, huh?
That's it. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's just, I mean, the Library of Congress was super easy. You just go on the website, like I said, create an account, fill in the blanks, and send it to them. And they got back immediately. And then the copyright, I'm still waiting until my book is in print.
Right.
And ready to send.
Sounds like they kind of have a hybrid process.
Right.
Did you do the pre-registration or the copyright for unpublished works?
I'm sorry, the what?
So there's a option to fill out like a copyright for unpublished works. So if like you have any works in progress that you just want to get ahead on.
I haven't done that, but I don't know. I mean, the only the unpublished stuff is on my computer, so nobody else has access to it.
Well, one thing I was thinking of is if that could be, I guess that's something that we'll need to do more research on. But for Bellas that don't have an ebook or an ISBN, since technically most of them are serial, so you're kind of writing them on the fly.
Right.
That could be an option if you have just a villa that's not publishing a book.
Mm-hmm.
and you want some protection on it from, the people who are stealing.
Right, who might be copying and pasting it elsewhere. And that was like my concern with Vela. That was my biggest hang up before joining. I didn't know how it was protected, because you don't copyright well, normally you don't copyright your work in progress. You do it when it's complete, but I haven't had any issues as far as I know. And I'm trying to avoid the pirate sites because I know my stuff will end up there one day and there's nothing you can really do about it. So
I know that when it comes to like the law, like technically if you prove that you're the one who created it and posted it on one site and someone tries to steal it, they usually consider it yours. But I went with the same like official copyright thing because in case I needed to get like, a lawyer, I was like, hey, look, Library of Congress.
Right.
Get the F out.
Right.
I own this copyright. I have the certificate.
And I've noticed some people do put copyrighted, like they do put that little memo in their author comments that it's copywritten. I don't know if they just put it there as a deterrent or if it really is.
It is. US law makes it, you own a sort of copyright automatically.
Right.
There's just no number associated with it. But if you wrote it and you can defend it, then it's yours. So that at copyright, that's actually correct.
Okay. Something to consider for future episodes.
But a hard fight.
Right.
Of course, if you're fighting against someone who is just stealing it for like a Chinese I'll just say it. I actually have published on other serial platforms, and while none of my stuff's been stolen, I've heard many a story of like different types of serial works coming from, like, let's say, for example, Tapas or Wattpad, and then being found on like Chinese web novel sites.
Yep.
Or other sites, and there's very little you could do against it other than just say, "Hey, take this down."
Right.
And if they translate it, how can you prove it's yours?
Right.
I'm not learning Mandarin.
No. And that's probably a waste of time to fight it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so involved to try and defend your rights. You just hope and pray nobody trounces on you. I think about the only time I would find it worthwhile is if I was sitting down and I was watching like a Netflix or something.
Yes.
And I'm like,
and your characters. Right. And that's why I think with the copyright and the Library of Congress, it will protect us in that
regard. Right.
And then you just need the big money to hire the big lawyer.
Right. Well, or if you can show it plainly enough, it's okay. They'll go ahead and do it for you on contingency.
Right.
If you can show it plainly enough that you created it.
Right.
But that would be my only thing, is if somebody was grabbing it and going and doing what I didn't know how to do.
Right.
And they're out there getting a movie made out of it,
Right. Yeah, that would be.
Let them do that, but I want the money from it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so I had one quick question on clarification, Lisa.
Yes.
So you have to assign an ISBN to paperback, hard copy, and audio all separately, but not digital format?
Right. You don't have to. You can if you want to, but they don't sell them in stores, basically. You're downloading it to a tablet or your phone, so it's not required. And I don't want to waste the $30 on it if it's not needed.
Right. Any more questions?
Yep.
I think this is probably done. You want to stop recording?
And one other thing I want to add is there's, like, from what I read too, there's a lot of misinformation about copyrights, and people say mail your work to yourself in a folder or in an envelope and don't open it, and that doesn't hold up in court from what I've read. And another one is email the book to yourself and put it in a file that's time stamped, but don't open it. And that doesn't hold up in court either. So the only way you can really protect yourself is through the Copyright Office and the Library of Congress.
Right.
So for
Right.
$65 total for both, like to cover yourself, it's worth it.
Oh, look, here's Nikolai.
Oops, I missed that.
What about sites
Oh,
like Draft to
answered
Digital?
that?
ISBNs?
Catch up, Nikolai.
Yeah.
I think like if you do a Draft to Digital free at ISBN, it's only good on Draft to Digital, as far as I know. From what I've read, the Bowker ISBN is the only one that will cover your paper book on every format for manufacturing and for selling or whatever.
So that's the part that was also a little confusing, because Draft to Digital does, they can in fact send out paperbacks to different retailers, even locally, or if someone orders the paperback from their site. But I think kind of the cost, they do take a royalty. So, like, you only get royalties back from Draft to Digital, similar to Amazon. So I believe what happens is that it's a free ISBN, but it's also included within the cost they take, or the share they take from each sale.
Okay. And another thing too, like I think some might accept them on like other platforms, but they also have to deny it. So you just don't know.
I have to drop my day job's fine. But nice talking to you all.
Yes, I get to finally see you.
Yeah.
It is nice to put faces with our little tag names we always stick with everything.
Right.
Always see pictures, and yeah, it's nice to meet everybody in person.
Nice to meet you all. Have a good one.
Yes, you too.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
You could push stop record, I guess.
Okay, let's see.
Awesome.